Show. Hello, guys, and welcome to this episode of TheLizManiShow. Today's show is a little bit different because I brought in someone very important today to come and share with us her experience, what she went through, her being a survivor today, because everyone deserves a relationship that is free of violence. She was in a relationship where she was physically and verbally abused by her ex-husband. Domestic violence can happen to anyone. I wanted to let you know. It doesn't matter what culture you're from. It doesn't matter where you're from or how you grew up. It can happen to anyone. And she's here to tell her story. Let's go ahead and bring my guest in. Tammy, how are you doing today, and welcome to the show?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So the reason why we brought you here to the show today is so that you can tell your story, because it's best for you to be able to tell your story and share with us some of the things that you actually went through. And as a survivor, nobody can actually tell your story more than you can. So let's dive right into it. Can you tell us, how was it like when you first met your ex?
When I first met my ex, he swept me off my feet. I'm gonna be honest. Like, he said everything that needed to be said. He preyed on the fact that I was already a single mother. So he knew the way to get to my heart was through my son. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna love your son like he's my son. And he said all of the right things. So there wasn't any flags initially when I first met him.
So when did you start seeing the red flag? Were you guys married?
Yes. So we actually got married. We actually had a huge wedding. He isolated me from my family, from my friends. It became like, no, you don't need to see your mom. You don't need to see your dad. They don't need to call all the time. No, why are you going out? He started to track me in regards to, oh, I know that it only takes 15 minutes from the workplace to home. Why did it take you 17 minutes to get home today? He started going through my phone, going through my Instagram. He just became very controlling. He would tell me that, I should be very happy that someone like him was interested in somebody like me. Because, he would tell me, oh, you're not really that pretty. You're not really, all that attractive. You're not really that smart. I'm actually settling for you, so you should be happy. And when you're hearing that from your person, you're like, okay, it starts to see. And, I was very young. So you start to think like, okay, maybe this is true. Maybe I'm not as pretty as I thought I was.
Maybe I'm not enough.
Right. So he messed with me mentally before the physical started.
So was it like physical, like holding you and, grabbing you?
Physical as in black eyes, multiple miscarriages, throwing you downstairs, stabbing. I was shot. I was like, he slipped. Like I have like scars. Like he tried to kill me. This man was literally the devil.
And he's a Nigerian too?
Yes.
Wow. And not that it matters, because we do have domestic violence going on regardless of, the ethnicity, or regardless of, where that person is from. So now you did mention about your family. How did your family react to it when they found out? I mean, like, what gave you even the courage for them to find out something like this? And how did they react to it?
So it was my mom. She was the one that she didn't even ask any questions. I literally just showed up at my mom's house because I didn't know how to tell my family that this is what I was going through in my home. Because when I asked, I told his mother, and she was like, all men beat their wives. So when I just finally got the courage to just leave, I packed up my son and everything I could in my car, and I just showed up at my mother's house. She didn't ask any questions. She just accepted me. My dad, he was more, worried about what people would say. Yeah. Initially, it was like, we just had this huge wedding, we spent all this money on this.
Which is very common. It's very common.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, I mean, it took us a while to rebuild our relationship, me and my father, because of me leaving my ex-husband. But yeah.
So at what point when you took your son and you got into the car, what was that thing? Because you have to see here, there's so many women out there, so many men out there, they're going through the same thing, but some of them can't even leave. They don't have that courage. What was that stop time in your, what jump started you and said, you know what, this is it and I can't take it anymore and I'm leaving? What gave you that courage?
It was actually the police officer that came, and he was like, look, do you not have any family? You don't have any friends? He's like, because I know the next time I come here, you're going to be in a body bag. And it's probably going to be you and your son, because your son is a witness. Like, because this officer had came to our house multiple times. So he was just like, yeah, like, and that was what registered. I think it was more of him saying that my son could be in the body bag beside me. Because at that point in my life, I was just like, if you're going to kill me, just kill me. But I never thought that somebody could harm my child. So just the thought of somebody harming my child, that's when I say, you know what? I don't care if I have to start from ground zero. Like, I have to protect my kid at all costs.
And I'm really sure that your boy is grateful now, because by then he was so young that he didn't even understand what was going on. And I'm sure by now, looking back, I'm sure when I don't know if he knows what happened before, I'm sure he'll be grateful that you chose him over everything, basically.
Yes, we went through counseling. So counseling is very essential. I know in our communities we don't really talk about it, but I didn't assume that he knew as much, or he saw as much as he saw, because he was so young. But it actually traumatized him, and he still suffers from some PTSD.
And I'm so sorry to hear that. So for people out there now that there'll be like people all around the world watching this video now in this type of situation, and they don't have that courage to move on, or maybe they moved on, but they still are depressed. What would you say are the signs to look for, and what would you say that you can use to encourage them to be able to move them if they got out of it?
So as far as the signs, one thing that we women have, I feel like some men have it, but definitely women have it, is intuition. Trust your gut. We know when something is too good to be true. We know, like, it's always a battle between your heart and your head. Your head will tell you exactly what is logical, what exactly needs to be done. Your heart, your heart wants to be loved, because we have so much love to give. So follow your intuition. Your intuition will never steer you wrong. And then it doesn't matter if you have to start over. There's so many resources out there. Find a tribe of people that you can trust with
like a
any
community.
And everything. Yes. You can't trust everybody, but have your tribe of those people, so that if you know that, okay, you don't have anywhere to go, and maybe a shelter is not available, you can go there, and they will protect you at all costs. Because your life, you're only given this one life, and you need to live so that you can save somebody else's life. Because that's my mission, is that I want to be able to share my story as many times as I can, because I know that me sharing my story will encourage somebody else. So.
And I'm really glad that you're sharing your story on this platform. So how's life going now with you?
Life is great. I'm currently planning my wedding with my fiance. Thank you. My son is now a sophomore in college. He's a engineering student on Dean's List. He's excelling. And it's all by the grace of God. God has been amazing. So
Well, do you have any projects going on right now that people should watch out for?
Well, I currently have a book that's on Amazon. It's called The Reason I Smile, and it tells a little bit more about my story. So if you want to go on Amazon, you can go on there and type in The Reason I Smile.
Okay.
And you'll find that book. And I'm working on some other projects now that I'm now in Dallas.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time today. And if you want to get that book, you can actually look at the flyer of the book right here on the screen. And also her social media platforms is also on the screen and also at the bottom. You can go ahead and reach out to her if you have any question or on how to get the books. Thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate you. We hope that this is not going to be the last time we're going to see you, and you're free to come on board anytime you want to. Thank you.
Thank you.